let's talk about something you can't actually see, but it's all around us, and yeah, even inside of us. I'm talking about microplastics. These are the invisible invaders that have kind of taken over our homes and our bodies. But the good news is, you're not powerless against them, and we're going to show you how. So, are you concerned about what's lurking in your home? Honestly, you should be. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the top sources of microplastics in your own living space. And more importantly, we'll give you practical, easy steps you can start taking today to make your home a healthier and way less plastic environment. So first up, what in the world are we even talking about? Well, microplastics are exactly that they sound like, tiny little plastic fragments, less than 5 millimeters long. They break off from bigger plastic things, bottles, clothes, packaging, you name it. And they are, quite literally, everywhere, in the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. You know, for the longest time, this whole issue was seen as an environmental problem, right? Like plastic in the ocean, pollution in the soil. But that idea has completely changed. Let's dive into the science. This right here, this is the finding that shifted the entire conversation. It's not just out there anymore. Researchers have confirmed that we are breathing in plastic, and it's getting stuck deep inside our lungs. So the question isn't if we're exposed anymore, it's what does that exposure actually mean for our health? So to figure that out, a 2024 study took a direct look. What you're seeing here is part of that process. Scientists collected lung fluid from 44 adult patients. They basically wanted to wash out a tiny part of the lower airways to see what was actually hiding in there. And what they found tells this fascinating and yet slightly unsettling story about how our daily lives and our habits might be shaping what we collect inside our own bodies. So the first big finding was a real head-scratcher. The study found that women had a statistically higher concentration of these microfibers in their lungs compared to men. Now, the reasons why aren't totally clear yet. Could be physiology, could be different products they use, but it's a difference you can't ignore. And then there's age. This was another huge factor. Patients over 60 had way higher levels of microfibers. And this points to something pretty concerning, a potential buildup effect. It suggests that the longer we live, the more of this plastic might just be accumulating inside of us. But this is where the data drew one of its clearest lines. Active smokers had by far the highest concentration of microfibers. And when you think about it, it makes perfect sense, because most cigarette filters are made of plastic fibers that can be inhaled directly. Okay, so we know what's getting inside us. The million-dollar question is, where is it all coming from? Well, the answer, for the most part, is right inside your own home. A lot of the biggest offenders are things we use every single day without a second thought. Plastic water bottles are a huge one. Tea bags? You'd be shocked how many are sealed with plastic that sheds right into your hot tea. Every time you chop on a plastic cutting board, you're releasing tiny fragments. And those paper coffee cups, surprise, they're usually lined with a thin layer of plastic. We're also breathing in fibers from our synthetic clothes and carpets, and even absorbing plastics from food packaging and some beauty products. All right, I know that's a lot of bad news, but here's the good news. We can seriously reduce our exposure. We can't eliminate it completely, but we can fight back. We've got a 9-step action plan, so let's walk through it. So the first 4 steps are all about tackling the low-hanging fruit. Step 1, just try to limit those single-use plastics like cutlery and bags. Step 2 is a big one. Switch to tap water. We'll show you why in just a second. And step 3 is a major rule of thumb. Never, ever, ever heat your food in plastic. The heat makes chemicals leach right into your meal. The same goes for hot coffee and those plastic-lined cups. And here is exactly why step 2, switching to tap water, is so important. A recent study found that a single liter of bottled water can have something like 240,000 plastic fragments in it. Just wow. Now, tap water isn't perfect, but the number of particles is way, way lower. That one simple swap can make a massive difference. All right, let's keep going. Ditch those plastic-sealed tea bags for loose-leaf tea. So easy. Swap out your plastic cutting board for wood or bamboo. Try to choose whole foods more often, since super-processed stuff tends to have more contamination. For cosmetics, look for fragrance-free. And finally, you can literally clean plastic out of the air in your home by vacuuming regularly with a good HEPA filter, which is designed to trap all those tiny synthetic fibers. Following these steps is a fantastic start. It really is. But the real goal here is something bigger than just a checklist. It's about shifting our entire mindset, It's really about adopting two new R's into how we think. First, to reflect on our daily habits and how they add to the problem. And second, to take responsibility as individuals, sure, but also as companies for the waste we're all creating. And I think this quote from Professor Douglas Walker just puts it all in perfect perspective. The goal isn't this impossible idea of perfection. It's awareness. It's about making conscious, informed choices instead of just mindlessly going about our day. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. After everything we've just covered, what's one small change, one simple swap that you can make today? Because that one little change, that's how you start building your defense and taking back control of your own environment.